Hey, this your girl, msyelladiva. I am bringing you another episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 10, Episode 6. Martell me no lies, okay? Martell me no lies, okay? Anyway, if you are new here, welcome. Welcome. We are family here and we do reviews here, okay? And if you are returning, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Okay. All right, y'all. Give me a thumbs up. Like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel. And we will begin. Okay. So last episode, the end of the last episode, Tisha storms out. Okay, she get in her little Ford Edge and she drive off. Okay, so Nell gonna sit in the coffee shop and she just gonna sit there and enjoy her coffee. I think all of that was staged. Okay, because she knew she was coming back. So, cause usually when they storm out and everything like that, then the other person leaves. But since Nell didn't leave, she come back. So I think all of that was staged, okay? But she come back because, she got to get paid, okay? And so she goes and sits down and she was like, please don't yell at me. This is where I have my PTA meetings, okay? Nell said, I wasn't yelling at you. She was never yelling at you, Letitia. Okay? She was never yelling at you. Okay? You just didn't want to answer no more questions. That's why you got up and left. She wasn't yelling at you. Her voice would stay the same, just like yours. Anyway, so she said, I'm not yelling at you. Letitia said, I'm dealing with all of these rumors. I've been dealing with these rumors for the past, 5, 6, 12 years. I don't know how long Love and Marriage Huntsville been on. But, and they showed a beautiful bean footage of how many times they talked about Marsau cheating. Okay, Miss Wanda was talking about it. Mel was talking about, well, no, Mel wasn't talking about it. Martell was talking about it. Yeah. So she upset because a lot of people have been talking about Marsau cheating pretty much ever since they've been on the show. Mel did say, Mel, I don't know if they played it, but Mel did say, about Marsau cheating on Letitia. So she been dealing with that a lot. But if you ain't gonna leave, then what you upset for? You ain't gonna leave, okay? Even he cheating. You all the men in Huntsville cheat except for Will. Hey boo, hey boo. Okay, all of the men cheat. Okay, every last one of them. Okay, and that is my opinion. Okay, all of them cheat. Okay, tell me it ain't true. Anyway, so then Nell gonna give her some grace because she has been dealing with this for ever, but she ain't gonna leave. So I don't even know what the problem is. Nell didn't leave when Chris was cheating on her, so you ain't leaving. Kimmie ain't leaving. So what's the difference? Okay. Let them cheat. Just like Tamar said, if you're not gonna leave, then let him cheat in peace. Don't even bring it up, okay? Because you ain't gonna leave. Just let him cheat in peace. It's okay. A lot of people do it. So Nell brings up the mentor thing. She's like, maybe I shouldn't have said mentor. Maybe I should have said I was a friend talking with a friend. And so Letitia was like, oh, so you done being a mentor? And so no, and Nell said no. She said, I am a certified life coach. So Letitia in the confessional clowning her about she is certified what? I don't think so. She in the confessional. She ain't saying it to her face. She in the confessional clowning her. Okay, she should have clowned her in her face. Then Nell would have been yelling. Okay, then you would have known Nell yelling. Okay, if you would have clowned her in her face, that's what you should have done. Don't be clowning people in the confessional. Okay, clown them in their face. Okay, so then so then you will know because everybody know when Nell is yelling because she loud as shit. Okay, she yell at everybody. Okay, so you would know if she yelling. So just clown her in her face so she can yell at you. Do that, Letitia. Don't listen. If you gonna do it, you gotta do it expeditiously. Okay. Get okay. Stand your ground, honey. Get your balls about you. Okay. You do it. Okay. Don't do it in the confessional. Do it in. You like Phaedra. Phaedra always clowning people in the confessional, and then she got to talk about it when um during the reunion. Kenya clown people right there in your face. I miss Kenya. Kenya clown you right in your face. Okay, so that's it. Anyway, that scene's done. So Maurice tells Kimmie that he gonna meet up with Martell because Martell know where all the bones are buried, and he don't want Martell mad at him. Okay, because he know where all the bones are buried with all of these men cheating. Okay, he know everybody is cheating. Marsau don't give a fuck because he know Tisha ain't leaving him. Okay, Kimmie may because they ain't raising no kids. Their kids are grown. Kimmie may. But so Maurice gotta go and be friends with Martell because he know where all the bones are buried. Okay, so he concerned about his mental health. Kimmie was like, listen, when I don't think nothing wrong with his mental health. When he get angry, he basically all the gloves come off basically when he get angry. So he blasting everybody when he get angry. Okay. She said that's where he goes. Maurice was like, Martell was one of the nicest people I've ever met. So if I can sprinkle something that's going to grow later, why shouldn't I give it a chance? Kimmie says, I feel like you've had many, 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 many conversations with Martell, and he agrees with you at that time, man. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that differently, and all that other stuff. And then after that, he get mad and he drop bombs on people, okay, and he throws you under the bus. So Maurice said that basically, hurt people. So he thinking like Martell is hurt, and he hurt people. Kimmie said Martell don't respect you. Okay, point blank. Period. She said Martell don't respect you. So she said so it might be pointless coming from you. It might be pointless coming from you. Okay. Okay, because he don't respect you. Okay, so it may be pointless. It may go one ear and not the other. Basically, what she's saying. Kimmie said Martell thinks that you are Marsau Dubois, basically, and she said that she thinks Martell thinks that y'all one and the same, and Maurice is doing damage control for Marsau. Oh, golly, all these M's. So then Kimmie drops this hammer. Okay. So I'm gonna paraphrase this. Okay, because this is what I heard. Okay, what she was saying. She was saying that Martell, Maurice, and Marsau is all cheating on their ladies. Okay, every last one of them cheating on their ladies. But the caveat is that Martell actually is a good father. He takes the kids everywhere and does everything. He cooks. He cleans. He takes care of his lady, everything like that. Whereas Marsau and Maurice does not. They're not a good father. Okay. They don't help cook, clean, and it is so because Marsau almost killed his son by giving him peanuts, and she was like, "No, he allergic." Okay, that's the reason why Letitia don't want Marsau watching the kids. Okay, and Maurice don't cook and clean and do nothing, and so and he ain't a good father. Jalen already said he was not a good father. So, but Martell does everything for Mel and things of that nature, but he lost his family, whereas Maurice and Marsau still got their family. And so he real mad. He big mad because he was cheating, but he was still doing all the stuff that he needed to do in the household. Whereas the other two guys are cheating and they ain't doing shit for their woman. But he lost his family and they didn't. So he big mad. That's what I think that's what Kimmie was saying. Okay, y'all tell me if I'm wrong on that, because I totally think that's what Kimmie was saying. Y'all all cheating, but he lost his family and y'all didn't, and so he mad. He mad and he jealous and he envious of it. Okay, that's what I heard. Okay, please tell me in the comments if that's not what y'all heard, because that's what I heard. Okay. So, yeah, so Kimmie said this is unfair. Okay. Okay, so anyway, on to the next scene. Letitia is talking to her daughter, talking about how she needs to get into the marketing aspect. She getting older and she need to do her social media for her hair products because apparently, it's growing and so she need to handle the social media because she getting older. Fine. Marsau come in, and I think her name was Macy. Whatever the case may be, she said, "You can't talk to me until you grow some hair." I don't know. You let your daughter talk to you like that? I guess guess you thought that was funny. I don't know. I have no idea. But it's not funny. It's not funny. I'd been like, "Bitch, who you talking to?" Okay, but I guess that's how they talk to you. Their children talk like that. So Letitia told Marsau that she and Nell met up and she apologized, and Letitia apologized to Nell for getting in Chris's face. And then she met with Kimmie and Destiny, and she was like, we can talk, we're friends. And she was like, so we like to get together because we can talk to each other. And Marsau said, you got to watch your back on Destiny. He said because she's friends with everyone, and meaning Martell. Okay, and so he was like, so you need to watch your back on Destiny. Okay, because she friend with everybody, and she friend with the ops, and you need to watch your back. Okay, moving on. Chris and Nell go to the toy shop. Chris saying that he talks to Lance about Destiny. Nell said, well, Lance don't owe Destiny a conversation because they were just dating. They ain't and Destiny says they ain't even have sex. So she was like, you a man, so if Lance a man and he ain't having sex with Destiny, he gonna find somebody else to have sex with, and that's how she got pregnant. Okay, so it is what it is. Nell tells Chris that Letitia was upset about the rumors going around for decades, okay, about Marsau cheating. And so she said, she ain't gonna believe it until, he gets caught, okay, with another lady. Even if he get caught, you ain't gonna leave him. So what? Let this man cheat in peace, okay? You not gonna leave him. Just let him cheat in peace. It's not that deep. And so Chris was like, well, Martell's interview wasn't enough. And so Nell was like, no. And so Chris was like, so basically she don't believe that Marsau has sex with that lady. And she was like, no. So it is what it is. Martell and Maurice meet up. Okay. Martell said, Maurice asked Martell, was he gonna marry Ariane? And so he said, yeah, I'm gonna marry her eventually. Eventually, I'm gonna marry her. Okay. So, what I got to say to you, Ariane, is run. Run. Please run. Okay? Please run. Okay? Run, baby. Run. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Okay? He eventually gonna marry you. Okay? How long is that? Run, girl, run. Don't even look back, okay? So Maurice was telling Martell that he thinks that he was shown to be the villain. And hold please, I'll be right back. I'm back. I had to go answer the door. Okay, listen. All right, so Maurice said that I think you become a villain. Okay. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I think you becoming the villain. And Martell said, "Well, listen, I don't like the negativity." He said, "I wasn't talking about Marsau or Letitia." He said, "But they keep bringing my name in their mouth. I think you lying about that, Martell. Okay." I think you do have their name in your mouth as they have your name in their mouth too. So I think I'm calling bullshit on that. I think y'all both raggedy. Anyway, so Martell said they lied on me and I retaliated. Apparently Letitia went on Carlos King and told the audience that Martell sleeps with men, and so she said he was sleeping with men before he met Melody and things like that. So that's what she said. So in turn, Martell brought that lady onto this little interview makeshift podcast type thing with him and Ariane. Okay, so but Martell said I wanted Marsau to call and apologize for what Tisha said, but he ain't do it. So that's when he, all the gloves came off and he had this young lady come and tell how they was cheating in Vegas, basically. So Maurice said, well, the young lady put my name in it too. And so Martell was like, well, I'm sorry, I didn't know she was going to say that as well. He said, so I apologize for you catching strays. But, and then Maurice started talking about his DUI. So he was just like, well, did you know what happened when when I had my DUI? Me and Kimmie was at Black, and me and Kimmie left together, and she took me back to my office where my car was. I don't understand why she took you back to your office for where your car was. I don't know why y'all didn't go together and leave together. But it is what it is. So she took him back to the office so he can get his car. So she goes home. He goes to hang out with his friends. And then what he said he made a stop to holler at his friends. And then roughly 30 minutes around the corner from their house, that's what I'm assuming. It was around the corner from their house. I hit an animal. Okay. And so Martell starts to laugh. You hit an animal, dude? You hit an animal? Okay. Then he said, and then I hit a tree. And so Martell laughed real loud. He said, so you hit an animal and a tree. Okay. You hit an animal, then a tree. Okay. He said, well, I hit an animal, then the tree, then the pole. Then Martell Martell he almost fell out of his chair, started to laugh. He said, hold up. You hit an animal, a tree, and a pole. He started laughing again. He said, you sound like my 9-year-old. He said, well, did the animal die? And he was like, no, it ran off. He's still laughing at Maurice. Maurice didn't find anything funny. He's just looking at him. But Martell was laughing his ass off, okay? And I can understand Martell because it seems real stupid. It seemed real stupid that he hit an animal, he hit a tree, he hit a pole, and he get arrested for DUI. But then this case was dismissed. Yeah. Anyway, so Martell does not believe this whole story, but he said the case was dismissed because it was lack of evidence. Okay, whatever. But Maurice was like, but you've been showing out, bruh. You've been showing out. And so Martell was like, the gloves come off with your brother and sister-in-law. And he was like, because, don't lie intentionally. And so Maurice was like, you never lied intentionally? And he said, no. He said, I put the video out. Do you think that was a lie? And Maurice was like, most of it was a lie. Well, what parts was a lie? And what parts wasn't a lie? I want to know that. I want to know that information. Inquiring minds want to know. What was the lie and what wasn't the lie? Okay, I'm asking for a friend, okay? Because I want to know what's the lie and what's not a lie. But she said most of the parts were true. And so Martell was like, I was there. So you had sex with her. Martell had sex with her. And she wanted me real bad. But and I'm putting this in because I had Arion, who was my side chick. I ain't knocking them boots, but if I ain't have Arion, who was with me, then I would have considered it. Okay, but I had Arion, so I had what I needed, but she fucked Maurice and she fucked Marsau, and so then Maurice trying to do his attorney thing. Well, what color was the room? What color was the carpet? Because he said he was there. And so, and Martell was like, listen, I don't know, I don't know. And so, Martell was like, well, so we didn't go to Vegas. And then he said, what color was my penis?
Stop it. Get some help.
So Martell was like, bro, shut the fuck up. I, I would, listen, okay. So Maurice was like, well, did you pay her for the interview? And so he said, no, I called her up, Marsau, flew her to Vegas. So I just called her up and. So Martell said, let the facts speak for themselves. Which part wasn't true? Maurice. Which part wasn't true? He radio silent now. He can't say which part wasn't true. But, it's crickets. Because he can't say which part wasn't true. So Martell said, listen, you an attorney, sue me. Sue me, okay? So, because all the facts got to come out now. Okay, so if you an attorney, you should sue me, and I agree. I agree. I agree with Martell. I don't think he lying. I don't think he lying. But like I said, Letitia and Kimmie ain't leaving. So I mean, let them cheat in peace. What's the problem? What's the problem? Let them cheat in peace. It's okay. You ain't gonna leave no way. Just let them cheat in peace. That ain't no problem. So, that was the end of that. Martell said, I don't lie, and you know the facts. Okay. Next scene, Maurice and Kimmie meet up with Marsau. Maurice tells Marsau he had a meeting with Martell. Maurice says, Martell put me in the video because what was said at the reunion, okay? But Marsau said, well, he ain't put you in the video. The girl mentioned you in the video, okay? So he don't put that back on Martell. The girl mentioned you in the video, okay? The girl mentioned you, and so he asked Martell did he pay her, and Martell said no, and so Marsau said he said he was there and he witnessed it. And Maurice said, yeah. He was like, so I asked him what my penis looked like. And so Marsau was like, man, you a mess. You a mess. Marsau says, in the confessional though, he says, well, a guy watching people have sex, he looking at something. He looking at something. Basically, he telling the audience that Marsau is gay, just like his sister. I mean, his wife Letitia said that Martell is gay too. Okay, so because he just was like, he looking at something. Now, I don't know what he looking at, but he looking at something. So basically, he's saying that he gay too. That's what I took out of it. He's saying he gay too. So okay. So Marsau and Letitia think that Martell is gay. Okay, let him be gay. That's probably why he ain't gonna marry Ariane. I don't know. I don't care. Ain't nothing wrong with being gay. Ain't nothing wrong with being gay. Kimmie said that, when Martell is a nice guy, he's a nice guy, but when he's not, he's not. He said, well, Marsau said his goal, he wants a fight, and he is simply not worth it. Maurice says, I'm having a guy's outing. Do you still want to come? Marsau said, yeah, I want to come, but I'm not having no conversation with no liar. Okay. And that was the end of the episode. Okay. We'll see you what this guy's outing is going to be next week. Okay. So give me a thumbs up, like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.